Yo, the dribble is in the building. I got to show off my knickerbockers. Y'all can go to the website and get a pair before I go off into my video. Got to show y'all the knickerbockers. TheRealDribble.com. These them Brunsons. Go get you a pair. You know what I mean? Go get you a pair in honor of the knickerbockers. I dropped these last year though. I dropped these joints last year. That's when the Knicks started building. What y'all seeing right now is, the residuals. What up, though? Y'all come in here, man, kicking with the dribble god. He said Jimmy fight in the airport. They said Jim was telling. We about to bid off this shit right here. Yo. I just was on here with Mickey Facts about this the Kendrick thing. Man, fuck that, man. Jim was in there rumbling for his. That's the second time we seen Jim getting down for his, man. I told y'all some years ago, Jim the only one from the Diplomats, man, that's gonna rumble. Hey, yo, y'all seen Jim getting down for his? Hey, yo, I got two things to say. They said he was in there telling. He was, too. He was. Jim, they got you on camera tizelling, man. Yo, you could tell he ain't never been in no brawls in jail or nothing like that, right? Jim, listen, for future reference, because you could tell you ain't never been in no institutions, and that's a good thing. Jim, whenever you in a fight and they come and break it up, you don't go sit down. You go into the hole anyway. Whatever penalty you gonna get it anyway. You're gonna get kicked out the airport or whatever. You're gonna get that anyway, my nigga. When they go up like that, you gotta go ape shit crazy, my nigga. Like when they separated y'all and shit, you went and sat down, man. You gotta come out that backpack, man, and get to throwing your sucker punches and shit, cause you was loose. You know what I'm saying? That shit was funny as hell. Yeah, man, you would have sat down, man. What the fuck is you doing? Yo, you sit down talking about they assaulted me. They don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that shit. You was fighting in the airport, man. That's government property and shit. That's like a federal offense or some shit. But yo, my nigga, that shit looked at just, I'm like, you could tell this nigga ain't never been in no institutions and shit, right? When you get to rumbling and the COs to come break that shit up, they normally grab both parties and shit, right? Man, Jim was loose like a motherfucker, man. You could have started going hammering that motherfucker, man. I'm like, man, you sit down after these motherfuckers tried to jump you? What the fuck? And you was getting busy. Jim was getting busy in the airport, man. That shit was funny as hell. Hey, yo. He said they seen he was a victim. I want to know what happened to all the motherfucking Goonies you used to be rapping about, man. What you was in there by yourself doing fighting them boys. Hey, yo. Man, I cut on Instagram. Shout out to St. Laz. Laz got the video. Jim was in there scuffling on the escalator, man. What you in there? What country? What city you was in, man? You in there scuffling and shit. You was holding your own and shit. You got the win. You got the win. In the eyes of real niggas, you got the win, man. You had the backpack on. You was getting down and shit. You know what I'm saying? That dude that you had the yoke. You supposed to finish him off, man. For real. But for future reference, if you getting jumped, all decency, all rules are out the window, my nigga. You over there sitting down talking about they was assaulting me. They know that. They know they got it on camera. They know that. But it ain't gonna change the penalty, man. Like when it's up like that, you gotta go on and get your shit off. Go on and get your shit off. It's not gonna change the punishment, man. Like they might you might get a lawsuit or you might get kicked out the airport for some time, or whatever. You might not be able to use the airline no more, whatever. Fuck that. They was trying to do you bodily harm. You don't go sit down, man, after a motherfucker tried to jump you, man. He said that's hilarious. I'm like, man, is this nigga really? He was sitting down unattended. Talking about they was jumping me. Man, if you don't get up and get you some more motherfucking hits in right quick. Yo, he said them white boys looked at least 60 years old. Why Jim getting all the credit? We don't give a fuck how old you is, man. You throwing punches and shit like that. I don't know what it was about. That did look like an older gentleman that he had in the yoke, but some motherfuckers be needing their ass whooped, yo. You know what I'm saying? Some motherfuckers be needing their ass whooped despite age and shit. This a man's world and shit. Yeah, man. This nigga was sitting down unattended. Yo, man, you was loose. You was loose, man. You was supposed to take your backpack off, man, and just start going hammer. Y'all done jump me. I'ma miss my flight. You're gonna miss the next flight. Like, you're not getting on the next flight. You're not getting on the next flight. You're not going to baggage claim. You about to deal with some law enforcement. You dig? So go ahead and go all out, man. Like, go on and get your assault off, man, because they done disrupted your whole shit, your trip. If you was going somewhere, they done already fucked your trip up. You know what I mean? They done fucked your mood up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you travel with your cables on and shit, they might have broke a chain or something like that. All of this is great reason to kick some more ass, my nigga. For real. But we want to know what happened to the Goonies. What happened to the Goonies, man? Shit done changed. Shit did change. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Anybody black was supposed to get in that, man. Jim, if I had been on the escalator, man, we was getting down together. I wasn't going for no shit like that. Y'all got to get the fuck up off him. Straight up. Straight up. Anybody that recognized him like, man, what the fuck, man? They jumping Jim Jones, man. We all in, man. We all in, man. I'd have been viral with him, man. I'd have been in there throwing punches. Like, man, what the fuck is y'all doing? Straight up. Straight up. Like, we ain't going for none of that, man. Motherfuckers, we get on the internet. People say they little shit about Jim Jones. And, man, ain't nobody jumping no niggas in front of me anyway, period, man. I don't give a fuck if I don't even know you. I'm all in. If you see me, just whistle, big fella. I'm all in, man. Straight up. Straight up. For real. But they said Miami. Jim, what the fuck? Where the fuck was the Goonies at? Where was the Goonies at? When I ran in the gym in 2010, I didn't encounter them a couple of times. Jim sick some niggas on me before. In Chung King Studio. Jim, what happened to the Goonies? That shit get expensive after a while. Looked like Jim was traveling by himself. Jim was going to chase a bag by himself. Yeah, that's that summer with Miami that you used to sing about. Where was the fucking Goonies, man? We want to know. That shit funny as hell, man. Like, that's some fuel for the internet. We gonna bid off this shit for a couple of days, yo. Where the Goonies? He said them Goonies getting too expensive to pay for these days. Yeah, man. Looked like Jim was traveling by himself. I don't know how it popped off. The video was on St. Laz page on Instagram. He said he was on a solo mission. Jim, man, what happened to the Goonies, man? You've been rapping about the Goonies forever. the lobby boys and all that. Where's the floor support? You lucky them with some older white men. If them with some jitterbugs, your ass should have been in trouble. You was able to keep them two old motherfuckers at bay. If there was some college age white boys or some lumberjacks or some shit like that, your ass should have been in trouble on that escalator, man. For real. He said, everybody get a turn at the real goons. Jim dumped that old man on his head. That's why you got to stand and clap it up for the gym. Jones, all that weightlifting, it held you down. You had a backpack on. You was still getting down for yours, man. On the escalator. You know what I mean? He said he keep taking losses. Nah, man, he didn't lose right there. He didn't lose right there, man. That's a win. That's a win for Harlem. That's a win for Harlem. Jim held it down. He said Jim stand on it. Yeah, he stood on it. He was getting down. Boy, if he would have got his ass kicked, we would have never heard the last of it. We would have woo-wee. Jim, you viral though. But people want to know where the Goonies at. Motherfuckers know you traveling by yourself, Jack. What the fuck is going on? He said, Jim slammed dude with the sunroof. He said, Chrissy would have definitely beat them both. Make sure y'all go check out my video I just did with Mickey Facts. He said, Cameron avoids these situations. Cam wouldn't have been able to keep them off his ass. I don't think so. I seen him. Nah. I don't think Cam would have been able to handle that. I don't know how he would have handled that. We've seen Jim in some fisticuffs over the years and shit. You know what I mean? I always told, I met him in person after the incident at Chung King Studio. I encountered him again in Miami and shit. That's when he wanted to fight French Montana. Y'all remember that Gully TV video? Jim and French Montana, South Beach. He called out French. French didn't want to fight. Jim held it down, man. I always said he'd fight for his. He proved himself. Y'all not watching the Cat Williams on Netflix? Hell nah, they watching the dribble, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? He said Cam pretty active on the low. He an athlete. I ain't never seen him in the gym, yo. You know what I mean? You see Jim in the gym, man, doing pull-ups, weighted pull-ups and dips and shit like that. He said the old timer that got hurt about to get paid. They probably gonna try to sue, but they was jumping him. There's more footage, trust me. There's more footage, you know what I mean? All the airlines, they under surveillance like a motherfucker. Like, his cameras every fucking where. So we might get another angle. We might see who threw the first punch. You know what I'm saying? We gonna find out. He said, do Jim hoop? I seen him hoop before. He's hooped on the internet before. But he got down. Shout out to Jones. Capo. Shh. That shit was funny as hell. He said Jim Jones putting in work. He said, nah, I'm talking about the one that ain't had nothing to do with it. The dude that got on his back was throwing some weak-ass punches trying to hit. He was like, man, y'all jumping me? Yeah, they jumping you, my nigga. That's all the reason for you to wild out and shit. Jim done went and sat down. You ain't gonna never hear the last. Jim, you ain't gonna never hear the last of that. They was jumping me. That was a statement to the cops, man. They gonna say the victim. The victim screamed several times that he was being assaulted and jumped by the two gentlemen. They gonna turn that into a statement, Jim. Oh my goodness. Was about to watch the last live. Now this Harrisburg. What up? Uh-oh, I got to close this window. I seen a motherfucking insect. Motherfucking beetle. He said he ratted in that video. Is y'all is y'all gonna give him that case? Is y'all gonna give him that case? Y'all gotta say it now. Was that telling? Is y'all gonna give him that? He was getting jumped. Y'all said that Troy Ave was telling because he had to go to court and explain why he had that pistol. That y'all said Troy Ave was telling. Was that telling? He said Jim threw that dude. He said, yeah, I'm trying to find this small lizard that came in today. He said he got to explain. He said, yeah, but it's justified. Loose leaps. They said Jim was grand jury ready. Oh, shit. He said he did a lot of talking at the end of it. If it's it, Crown Court TV gonna have them motherfuckers gonna be trying to find that docket number. Straight up. He said he sat down and give a statement. You could tell he ain't never been in no institutional fights. That's what it reminded me of. When you be rumbling in the institution, juvenile, penitentiary, and the COs come and rush the scene, they normally separate you, right? They don't leave a motherfucker free. They would never do that. Jim was loose. They hemmed up the other dudes and told Jim, go sit down, man. You went and sat down, man. Don't you know that whatever penalty you gonna get it anyway. You was already fighting. You already was disrupting prison routine. You already was fighting, my nigga. Like, you ain't gonna get no less severe penalty. Whatever gonna happen to you, it's gonna happen to you. So there's no reason to sit down and comply at all. You supposed to come out that backpack, man, and finish kicking ass, yo. Straight up. Yeah, he was unattended. Nah, I don't smoke no more. Jim probably ain't gonna want to smoke no more after that. Weightlifting, it don't test your cardio. Hey, yo, you can lift all the weights you want in the world. That shit ain't gonna really test your cardio all like that, not unless you squatting. He said, I knew you was gonna go live. That shit was funny as hell. He said, one arm suplex on the escalator. Jim did right. It was danger around him. Yo! Shout out to Jim. But we want to know, man, what happened to the Goonies, man? You known for rolling 30 deep. He said, Dribble, you stopped what made you quit acting. I'm an actor now. I want to look gorgeous on camera. You see how clear my skin got? I was smoking backwoods and shit. And a backwood is a tobacco leaf. So people who smoke backwoods, you ain't just smoking weed, you smoking a cigarette too. He said, pause. Ain't no motherfucking pause, bitch ass nigga. I'm gorgeous. You got a problem with it? Get the fucking stepping. You know what I'm saying? This God Cypher Divine you looking at. You see that glow? You see any acne? Word up. Niggas be talking about pause and all. Man, get the fuck out of here, dickhead. That shit corny as fuck, man. Y'all need to park that shit. He said Jim fought off two dudes. Yeah, man, he kept him off his ass. He said, great work with Mickey. You always ask the right question. That motherfucker Mickey Fax is a genius. Mickey Fax is a bright nigga. He's very, very fucking intelligent. He said, women are gorgeous. Bitch ass nigga, I'm gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? My name is Jamil Ali. Long before I got here, Muhammad Ali said, I'm pretty. I'm a bad man. Don't get mad at me for being gorgeous. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of here. Ugly motherfucker. Get your ugly, dirty ass out of here and shit. It's niggas that feel like just like you. That niggas. Joe Frazier was disturbed. Joe Frazier didn't like being called ugly. He hated that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I understand how you feel. But me, I'm gorgeous. Now, get the fuck to stepping. Like I said, I ain't got no acne and shit. You see that glow? That ain't nothing but melanin and shea butter and ginger and sea moss and shit. You know what I mean? Get on the level. Straight up. He said, set up. Them cops came right after the damage was done. Man, get the fuck up out of here, man. He said the calisthenics come in handy. Baby Bob! Bob, where's the goons? But hey, Baby Bob, where's the goons? Jim held that shit down, Dolo, but what happened to the goons, man? My man said, I stopped smoking in mid-2000s. Self-preservation kicked in when Jim was going down that escalator. He flipped that nigga. Yeah. I see you post a tragedy, Gaddafi. I'm posting everything dope. That's what you gonna get when you come to this channel and shit. I'm in Cream. It's on Tubi. I ain't maxing out on the Tubi movies either. I probably got one more on there. Y'all gonna see me on network TV. Word up. He said, I hit him. I say, you was by yourself? He said, you could tell he was tired. He had the backpack on him and shit. He had the backpack on him. That tells me there was some valuables in that backpack because he didn't separate from that backpack. Probably had his jewelry and shit in that backpack. No stranger to dangerous, and I'm proud of Jim. I weigh 215. Did you switch to gummies or edibles after you stopped smoking? I don't use no drugs, period, man. I never was a drinking type nigga, you know, little cosmopolitan and shit like that, every now and then in a social setting. This what you see, this is pure. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Look at my high cheekbones. That's that black shit. You know what I'm saying? Look at my black features. I got the big nose, I got the big lips, high cheekbones, that Caribbean glow. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is from the islands and shit. You heard? He said he gonna hit me later. He was laughing. Yeah, he viral in a motherfucker, man. He said Jim had white boy leaking. They shouldn't have been trying to jump on him. He said it's crazy. He said it's brazy how blood told on them white folks. Hey, Baby Bob, was there any statements given? No drinking and smoking is my biggest flex, yo. It's my biggest flex. I remember when I was in college, this Jim was sitting down like he was in detention. CJ Ballin, I appreciate your super chat. I was in college, right? And this African kid, he seen me smoking and shit one time. He was an exchange student. And we got into a conversation about weed and shit. And he said something like, I thought all American blacks smoke weed, smoke. He said something like that. I never forget it. And I should have known right there that it was a stereotype associated with black men. They think we all smoke reefer. I don't want to be a part of that no more and shit. I'm unique in my own right. I'm an individual. I shouldn't have nothing in common with niggas and shit. Fuck that. Let me open this door. Come on, man. Damn. I could trip over this motherfucking dog and shit. I would have been pissed if I would have fell, man. This motherfucking dog almost tripped me and shit. Boom, 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 boom. He said, don't start the no snitching crap. Them cops tried to jump him. Can't knock Jimmy for defending himself as self-defense. He got to give a statement. It's him against two white men. He in a sticky situation. Nah, man, I don't smoke no more, man. When the last time y'all seen me on here blowing and shit? I used to be on here coughing and whole screen all smoky and shit. When the last time y'all seen me on here smoking? Y'all know I don't smoke no more. You can tell. He said, I just seen that shit. Them white boys was at least 65 years old. I find it hard to believe Jim started that. I don't think he started that. Suck a dick. Let me get you out of here, bitch ass nigga. I hate haters. I attract haters because I'm gorgeous and successful. That shit aggravate niggas. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to deal with me. He said, I'll give a statement if they jump me. He was giving statements. He gave it on camera. The footage is on St. Laz. It's probably everywhere on Instagram by now. But I seen it on St. Laz page. Shout out to Laz. You know what I mean? He said, maybe the dog was hating on your skin. He probably was. Cookie. She gone. He said, if the old white guy who fell is going to sue, not the ones he was fighting, man, motherfuckers got to keep their hands to theyself. My man said them white folks couldn't do nothing with me. How I be on the pull-up bar. Good evening. Make sure y'all check out the video I did with Mickey Facts. I can tell y'all remedial. Wasn't no crime committed. Snitches don't apply here. If that's the case, y'all can't say that that Troy Ave snitched because he was in he had to explain what the fuck he was doing with that gun. Like, it's not my gun. So what the fuck? So did Jimmy tell? Nah, man, he had to clarify what was going on, man. The man is on a business trip. He an entertainer. If he was getting booked to be somewhere, they probably done fucked up his money. He might be late to the event or whatever. Probably fucked up his money. And not only that, this is America. If you seen anywhere fighting some white folks, you got to explain that shit or you going to jail. Straight up, because they gonna tell on you. They gonna tell on you unequivocally and shit. So, yo, he said, Gully, you a boxing fan? I like Tank. They said Floyd is fucking handicapped. Floyd is being kidnapped right now. Floyd in a situation over there. He at the show right now. After the facts, these tough guys would have said the same thing. Yeah, you got to explain it, man. Gangster Chronicles. Is that still? The old head that got dumped landed on the other dude, so Jimmy is responsible. Man, I was trying to get these motherfuckers up off me, man. I would got to talk about Emmett Till and all kind of shit, man. 2 white men kidnapped Emmett Till out of his house, took him and did him dirty and shit, man. I got to having flashbacks, you know what I mean? My people have been attacked by white men, man. I had to get down for mine, man. I was afraid. Straight up. He said Floyd was at the Mavs Clippers game last night. I don't believe that. I think we would have heard about that. Got a question the Quentin Miller Nas plagiarism. Nobody writes for Nas. I didn't agree with that. But if they on in the credits as co-writers, they did something. They did something. Seems like a third party was hurt in the process. Only reason the elderly white man was bleeding was because he fell. Who is undercover cop Derek Parker talking pardon for Jimmy Henchman? Jimmy Henchman got some heavy charges. I don't think he got any murder cases. Nah, Jimmy Henchman is in jail for drug trafficking and shit like that. The fuck? They let Meech and Terry go. He said, they said Floyd been stuck for 50 days. That's a long time. You can write a hook and be listed as a writer. A fight at the airport will ban you. It looked like Jim was holding back on the old man. He said, first Juelz, now Jim at the airport. That's why Cam got away from them niggas. Jim said they assaulted me. It could have been for the ad-libs or the chorus. Yeah, I don't like this Floyd thing. Secondary, I need to hear hear it. Talk about this battle before you get out of here, nerds or not. Me and Mickey Fax is on here right before this video. That last diss record, not the last one because he dropped another one and I ain't heard the final one. But that joint, Meet the Grams, that was the coup de grace. That was the coup de grace, man. This nigga was rapping in second and third person. He was rapping to his mama. Then he was rapping to his daddy. He was rapping to him, talking about he got illegitimate children that he hiding. The nigga getting liposuction and Brazilian butt waxes and all kind of shit. Yo. Juelz said he forgot he had a gun in the bag. Niggas high on pills might forget they got a hammer on them and shit. Straight up. Ant-Man dropped 43 on the Nuggets head. You really gotta be on drugs if you forget you got a pistol when you go in the airport. You gotta be high on something. Straight up, man. How the fuck you forget that you got the hammer on you, man? All this goddamn metal and shit. TSA ain't fucking around, man. Like, you can't be doing no shit. Not nobody in no same mind, man, is packing a bag and forget that they got the pistol on them and shit. Like, you gotta be high. Cam would have got tossed. He said them shits was vicious. Jimmy Henchman supposed to be home for 4 years with completed programs and good time. Oh boy. Man, that Jimmy Henchman, he's a bad dude, man. He probably gonna come out here and he said on that conversation with Haitian Jack, he said that he's gonna deal with 50. I don't know. Maybe he knew something that we didn't know. The last Kendrick song got a little bop on it. You seen Juelz dissing Kendrick Lamar diss? Juelz can't diss nobody, man, with his fucking furniture all fucked up, man. You can't do that. Stay in shape, folks. Gotta stay in the gym. You gotta stay in the gym, man. And not only does it keep you gorgeous, but you'll be able to keep a motherfucker up off your ass. Straight up. Where was the lobby boys at? That's gonna be a question that we're gonna continue to hear. Where was the Goonies? That Goonie bill got expensive, man. When the Dipset was in their prime, Jim probably could afford, 15, 20 man Goonie entourage and shit. 20 plane tickets and shit like that. Putting out lobby boy projects ain't gonna pay for that type of shit. He said, I seen that live, but last night when they dropped, I said, why the fuck Gully not live right now? I felt it was a nerd battle, man. Out of everything that's happened thus far, that Meet the Grams, that was the one. That was the one. I'm like, okay, now this is battling. Like, this is severe. You know what I mean? I come from the era of Tupac and Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z and Nas. LL Cool Mo D, LL Cannabis. I done seen some shit. Beanie against Jadakiss and shit. You gotta be able to, pull your own weight in this battle shit, like, for real. So I'm like, man, this is just this shit ain't about nothing. I was playing with it for the sake of the algorithm, but that Meet the Grams, that's serious. And for the most part, Drake can't win. He can't win. He can't. He said both of them are rapping their ass off. One of them is rumored to have ghostwriters. They said that Daylight ain't got nothing to do with this shit. That's what Mickey Fax said he know him and Daylight, they pretty tight and shit. He said Daylight been trolling just to put himself in it. But that song that Daylight did, it's like 3 years old. Everybody think that when Kendrick said your best work was light bars or some shit, he said something like that. People thought that he was talking about Daylight. People assumed him to be talking about Daylight. But according to Mickey Fax, Daylight ain't got nothing to do with it. He said Jim was on Spirit fighting white boys. DJ Quick versus MC8. Ice Cube versus Common. If we keeping it real, I thought Common took care of Drake with the, you Canada Dry. That Canada Dry shit, like I felt that he dealt with him. I did. Kendrick said he the extortion king right now. I felt that Drake lost to Common. The Pusha T thing, Pusha be trying to battle everybody and shit. So I wasn't like really paying that shit no mind. But after the shit that's going on now, it make you want to go back and listen to what the fuck Pusha was saying and shit. Jim said they assaulted me. Jim is gonna hear that again. That they assaulted me. You gonna hear that. You gonna hear that again. You is. He's gonna hear that. People is gonna use that against him. They definitely whack 100 them clubhouse niggas. They gonna have a party with it. They is. J. Cole wasn't losing in that battle versus Kendrick. He wasn't losing. He wasn't, and I thought that his joint was. I liked it, but the shit that he's seeing Kendrick doing to Drake, maybe he like, man, I bet to get the fuck out the way and shit, cause that could turn out to be me. You like the finish line. We can't wait to run into you. He said something else slick. He said, it's funny when the gods get to acting like the broads. But for all we know, he didn't write that shit. Nobody ever accused Common of having ghostwriters and shit. There's too much witchcraft associated with Drake. It is. Quentin Miller, Lil Yachty, it's just too much. I call that shit witchcraft. He said it should have been Mano instead of Jim. I would have rather seen Mano. Yeah. We already know that Jim would get down for his. We already know. We seen him fighting for his in Rucker Park. He said, you know how you search sex offenders in your area? Kendrick has like 20 pins on Drake house. For all the OVO undercover art, Drake better put a full court press on Ross 221. When your pen game is questioned, you disqualify. He can't win. He can't win. He can't. Mano not in fight shape. He wrote Kanye bars, but he claims he don't know a Drake line. Drake lost to Joe Budden. He said it's on the wire that Daylight wrote back-to-back for Drake. What's the name said it's not true? Mickey Fax said it's not true. Make sure y'all go. He said, why Sin City ain't around Jim no more? Sin is my man. I talked to him on the phone, man. Sin just went through some health problems. He pulled an Achilles, and he fucked up his Achilles and then had to go through a surgery and went through some, he had some complications with a surgery from an Achilles situation and shit. Shout out to Sin City. That's my dude. He hit me up and he asked me what was up with the ginger and the garlic and the honey concoction and shit. Sin is on his holistic shit, but he's also on Pillmatic 2. I got a record from Sin City on Pillmatic 2. That shit dropped May 15th. So if you want to know what's up with Sin City, get the album. Boom, 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 boom. Some nigga thought it was wise to come in here and mention my mother. He said, tell your mom I want 10 bean pies. My mom sell bean pies. She's been in the Nation of Islam 35 years, and I still kicked your ass the fuck out. Don't you ever say my mom motherfucking name in this chat, clown. I got caught by the police and I hide. Well, you fucked that up, fam. Yeah, Sin City on my new album. So, May 15th. Rick Ross never replies to the CO. I thought he got pictures of him as a CO. Rick Ross and his talent, it superseded that. It just made it that nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's too much evidence popping up on Aubrey. He been cooked like Grandma Sunday's dinner. Shooter 93 said he not going to prison for nobody no more. Makes sense. But obviously the goons ain't around no more. Jim rolled by himself. Well, he's rolling by himself. He's on camera rolling by Jim. Yeah, I don't think you wanted that information to get out that you moving by yourself. People expecting to see you with the goons because you be rapping about the goons and you got the 5 around your neck. You be representing 9 Trey, man. You was fighting them white folks by yourself. You need to stop representing that shit, man. That's deceptive. Nobody was there to help you. Boom, boom, boom. He said Jim couldn't afford the extra airfare. Music ain't what it once was, man. You got to keep in mind, streams are less than a penny and shit. When the Diplomats was in a prime, he definitely could pay for that shit. Boom, boom, boom. That Drake blackface picture explains everything. He was headed to the crib. That's unusual. Where was the lobby boys? These are questions that remain to be answered. I'm about to get up out of here, man. I'm about to go see what Ant-Man did to... Because I was on a live with Mickey Fax while Minnesota was playing Denver. Did Minnesota take care of that? Did Minnesota take care of that? The Canelo fight on. Did Minnesota take care of that? Is Denver down 0-1? Get them the fuck up out of here. He said, yeah, I'm watching the fight. I'm about to go tune into the fight, too. Before I get up off here, shout out to the Knicks. Need y'all to go to my website and get you these Knickerbocker dribble guard joints. You know what I mean? Go to the website. I dropped these last year. And look at what happened. The Knicks are getting busy. So yeah, go get you these Knick joints from the website, therealdribble.com, for the summer and shit. I made these for ballers. You could put 30,000 in these pockets. It's been tested. He was headed to Miami. Is still a bad look. We gonna find out. The Knicks gonna have an uphill battle. Rick Carlisle, who is the Indiana Pacers coach, was the coach for the Dallas Mavericks when Jalen Brunson was there, and he wasn't giving Jalen no run. He had Jalen sitting on a bench, so Jalen got reason to kill. We gonna see what happened. Jalen got reason to kill. Anyway, they saying Floyd back home. All righty. I got to get up off of here, man. Make sure y'all go to the website, therealdribble.com. Get these dope-ass basketball shorts. Go get you a pair. And I'm out. Follow me on Twitter at Gully TV 1. I've been over there getting busy, man. My Twitter popping like a motherfucker. Come fuck with me on Twitter, Gully TV 1. I follow back. Instagram at I am Gully TV _. It's time to watch some boxing. Y'all have a good night. Peace.